These are absolutely delicious. The fact that I'm able to have something that tastes like a donut, that is still low carb, that is not gonna derail me, that I could still stay on track, makes it just that much better. But this with some cafecito or like a glass of ice cold milk would be like the ultimate. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds by making healthier alternatives to some of my favorite foods. So today, we're gonna be making donuts. Now, I grew up eating donuts, okay? Krispy Kreme girl to the fullest right here. So the donuts that we're making today are low carb friendly, keto friendly, diabetic friendly, weight loss friendly. So if you love donuts, if you've been trying to stay healthy or just eat low carb, then you're gonna wanna give these a try, okay? So I have all my stuff laid out here. It's actually really, really simple. You need some almond flour. You're gonna need a little bit of sweetener, your sweetener of choice. I like using allulose because it's literally like, I feel it's the closest thing to real sugar. Like it caramelizes the same, like you don't get that little funky taste that you get with some of the sweeteners out there. So I personally like it. A little bit of baking powder, and then yogurt. So you can use regular yogurt. I put both of them out here just so you can see. I'm going to use a high protein yogurt. So this has 15 grams of protein, and then it's low carb. So it has low sugar, and then just a little bit of cinnamon. And of course you can add little things here and there, but this is just kind of like your base to a donut recipe, okay? So let's get started. This is so simple. You will see exactly how easy it is to make these. And these are fun. Like if you have kids, these are really, really fun to just put them together, you know? I like to do things like this with my daughter when she gets home from school, because I feel like kids always like to do things with us. So even if you don't have kiddos, girlfriends, your niece, nephew, you know, these are like fun little recipes to do with them. And then, so we have our almond flour, then we have our sweetener, okay? Go back here. A little bit of baking powder so that they're not so dense, you know, because the problem with a lot of low carb foods is that they end up turning out really dense because they're gluten free. And so you don't have like that rising agent. We're using a little bit of baking powder just to try to give it a little bit more air, a little bit more rise, so that it's also just a little fluffy. So now I'm just gonna give my dry ingredients a little mix just to make sure that the baking powder and everything gets distributed throughout, and then add in the wet. Okay, so now let's just go ahead and grab our yogurt, little yogurt. And now we are going to give this a mix. And this is gonna give us our batter. So at first it is gonna look a little dry. Don't worry, it's one of those things where you have to trust the process. Okay, so after you add in all your ingredients, literally just give it a good mix like this. Look at that, it ends up turning out like a thick cookie batter almost. So batter is ready. So typically donuts are fried. Of course, we could try to fry them. We could try to bake them. I wanna make them in the air fryer just because I love my air fryer. I literally use my air fryer for everything. So we're gonna make donuts in the air fryer. Okay, so I'm gonna use my ice cream scooper. Now you can make these really like bite size where they're teeny tiny. I wanted to make them a little bigger where they just turned out like fuller size donuts, but this is completely up to you. And then you don't have to worry about having like a whole dozen donuts. You literally just make as many as you want. Okay, so here you have it. I'm gonna place them into the air fryer for about 6 to 8 minutes at 350 degrees, and then I will show you how perfectly crispy and beautiful they turn out. Ooh, look at how beautiful. They have a nice golden crust on the outside. Okay, now we're gonna make the cinnamon sugar. You could obviously eat them just as is, but I wanted to go the extra step and make my little dusting. So I'm just gonna do a little sweetener and cinnamon, a little cinnamon powder. Do a little mix. Okay, so we have our cinnamon sugar, and now I'm literally just going to dust our little donuts. And if you are a cinnamon sugar donut fan, then you're gonna love these. I love these donuts because they have a nice crisp on the outside, and then the inside is a little bit more like cakey. So it's not crispy or hard or like super chewy either. You know what I mean? It's just like the perfect consistency. I'm doing a little extra cinnamon sugar on this one. Look at that. Turned out perfect. And now for the taste test. Cheers. It reminds me of like a snickerdoodle cookie. Like that's the flavor profile. If you're thinking like, what does it taste like? Kind of cakey, kind of, I guess like the best way to describe it is kind of like a lighter, fluffier version of like a cake pop. I don't know. To me, these are absolutely delicious. The fact that I'm able to have something that tastes like a donut, that is still low carb, that is not gonna derail me, that I could still stay on track, makes it just that much better. But this with some cafecito or like a glass of ice cold milk would be like the ultimate. So if you love donuts and you love snickerdoodle, this is like the perfect cross, the perfect combination. So I'll go ahead and leave the recipe in the description below for you. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and don't forget to hit the little bell notification so that you're reminded every time I post a video just like this one. And if you have friends and family that are either living a low carb lifestyle, trying to lose a few pounds, or maybe even diabetic, then please share my channel and all these recipes with them because you never know, it could be super, super helpful. But thank you so much for being here. I love you and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.